So we got this, again, project. We can play sound to a speaker using an audio amp circuit. I showed the build in another video, so if you want to look at that, you can. But let me go ahead and stop the music. If we want to switch this, edit it a little bit, make it a little bit more, show you how the speaker's made. Because this is just a children's toy speaker, right? Maybe you don't want to use children's toy speaker. Maybe you want to make your own speaker. To make your own, step one, audio playing device, speaker. You can, take a coil wire, take a magnet. This one's particularly strong. It's used in a old wind turbine project. Put these near each other, while it's hooked up, it'll vibrate, it'll oscillate. So as this, it sits on this magnet, it's going to be pushed and pulled on top of this magnet, which can create air waves compressed. Those air waves compressed are what's creating the frequency that your ears hear and interpret as a sound. So we hook this up, clicky click, clicky click. Then we hit the music again and just hit play. Oh, that's not good. Let's try this again. So you hook up a wire, put it near a magnet that's super strong, as you keep hearing. You get music, right? Now I'm gonna have to fix something real fast before I continue, so pause it here for a second. So I gotta add a heat sink to this because it's getting real hot. And that's not good for us. Anyways, as you can hear, there's music, right? If you had a cup on top of that, and some people might ask, well, why add a cup? Why does that make it louder? And that's because the cup directs the sound, right? It gives it more focus, more alignment. It's also a bigger medium being vibrated, so it lets more air be pushed. More air being pushed means it sounds louder. Anyway, so with that, well, there you go. With that, let's go and go over this concept some. So how do you make one of these coils, you might ask? Or maybe you don't care, but maybe, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you care, right? So you take some wire, right? You can take some wire. When you have this wire, you can use technically any gauge. The gauge I find to work best is American gauge 28. AWD 28. It has to be magnetically insulated, which means it has a thin coating, right? Because copper isn't red. So you need a thin coating of this so that when you coil it, this coating stops it from shorting across itself. So if you take some of this wire, you burn off the ends that you're going to use. So you take a little lighter, you just burn off the end. But you have the end burned, you're going to need a piece of sandpaper because there's going to be some char from the coating, right? It's going to blacken on there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but camera's not going to focus on it. That blackening right there is going to need sanded off because it's basically not going to let you conduct electricity if it's on. If you just give it a light sanding like that, you could probably see now, if the camera focuses, that it looks a little bit more like copper. This copper wire here is what you want to be connected to these wires going to your audio amp circuit. So you take a little bit of this wire, take a little bit of it, take whatever you want, pliers, whatever have you, and you cut it Once you have a cut, you didn't have a piece of wire. You're going to do the same thing at the other end. You're going to burn it off. Sand it. Oh, it's so fancy. Then you're going to coil it, right? So now I have this strand of wire right here. I'm going to coil it. So I'm going to make it into a coil. Now, first one I made pretty large. I'm going to see what happens if I make it smaller this time with less wire. Less wire is probably not going to make it work better, by the way. Generally, you want to get to around 8 ohms to 16 ohms from my... You can research it. I haven't really looked much into it, but I know around 2 ohms plays pretty good sound. If you get below that, it gets harder for the amp to drive the circuit, making a lot less sound. But here, let's try this small coil. So it's clippy. Man, this magnet's crazy strong. It's clippy. Technically, it's several magnets, but the big one's the one that really only matters. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that worked better than I thought it would. Huh. So there you go, that's how you make one of these speakers. Step 2. We're going to go over the aux cord now. The aux cable right here. This aux cable that's hooked up to the speaker comes from a old headset. So if you have, or even earbuds, if you have like just an old piece of crap earbuds that you don't use anymore, lying around. Is old earbuds. You take this basically part right here, the nice audio jack here. You take some wire strippers, you cut it, and you'd strip it. Once you have that done, you'd have it like this. You have 2 wires basically going from this, right? 1 wire, 2nd wire, that all come to here, which is hooked up to the computer. This goes to your audio amp circuit, if you have one. Here and here, which this then amplifies it. These capacitors affect, this one affects the gain of the circuit, this one affects filtering. I'm not going to explain this one. Anyways. Okay, so basically, this aux cable here goes to this audio amp circuit. This audio amp circuit, basically, these 2 wires. Oh man. These 2 wires here and here connect to the aux cable here. So you could actually connect these 2 cables here directly to your speaker. The problem is the sound quality is way less. In fact, let's go and give you an example. Computer, this circuit is no longer connected. It's on its own over there. So if we hook this up now, you're going to hear the sound quality is a lot different, right? Connect 1, we connect 2, and get depressed. That thing's magnet's crazy strong. Once we have these connected, we're going to go ahead and go back to this. Oh, it's still playing. We put it on the cup here. We put it near here. Hopefully that's getting to the speaker, but it's very quiet, right? Without the audio amp, it works. All you really need for this to work is a magnet, right? A magnet, wire, and all you really need for this to work, it's not very loud, is a magnet, a wire, and our good old friend, the AUX cable. If you look at this, got the magnet, the wire, it's connected to the AUX cable, right? Also, just FYI, if you aren't a friend or aren't a fan of using these AUX cables, right? Because they're kind of messy. Instead of taking a pair of headphones, stripping them, and getting in the work, you can go to, well, you could have went back in the day to Radio Shack. I don't know if they sell these anymore, but this came from Radio Shack. It's a stereophone plug. AUX cord, right? This is just an AUX cord, basically. And you open this package, rip this out. You know, struggle, of course, but rip it out. This right here is the exact end of an AUX cable. If you unscrew this, so basically you got the two wires. One goes to one of these. You can pick either one you want, and the other wire goes to this thing in the middle. So if we hook this up here and rip this out, it's quiet. But if you add in this audio amp again, how did I get to freaking NFL draft pick from that? What are you doing, YouTube? What are you doing with my life? Anyway, so going back to our music. There you go.